This right here, this is Yaringa. She is a 1985 Passport 40, and she's our new boat. The last that you guys had heard from us on the boat front, we had put Makara up on the Hard in Port Townsend, Washington. We had actually listed her for sale. One of our big things with the boat search is we did not want to be two boat owners, and it just worked out. The day we took delivery of Yaringa here, we actually closed the sale on Makara. So we are officially one boat owners, which is so exciting. We've had our eyes on her for quite some time. We actually first looked at her back in February or March. Dinner time. We are camped out semi-stealthily on the side of a highway here by a little lagoon. We have our tent we're gonna set up for the night, and we just made some dinner.
The stealthily part is debatable. This is Highway 101 right above us here. And we had one hot dog. It's time to dish up another hot dog.
Hot dog number 2.
We're still hungry. So this is Big Lagoon. We're in Northern California, maybe an hour or so away.
North of Trinidad.
North of Trinidad, maybe an hour south of Crescent City, I think. And there's a beautiful lagoon here with a sandbar and the Pacific Ocean on the other side of it. The sun has just come out of the clouds, and that is a nice evening. And we found a couple of cool spots. We found out in California, it seems like the Forest Service roads are locked.
In Oregon, you can kind of just drive off on a Forest Service road and go camp, but apparently that's not the case here in California.
It's time for a bit of food and enjoy this beautiful sunset.
Time. Some beautiful light right now.
It's been cloudy all day and the sun popped out right as it's about to go to bed. Well, so begins night 1 of our road trip. But I think next you'll see us in San Diego, maybe with a little bit of a road trip montage.
Friend to this world, and this world is no friend to you. Be gone. Leave this place behind.
Oh, really chomping that grass. We're sitting aboard a 1985 Passport 40. It's a Bob Perry design, which we love.
It is a beautifully designed boat. We really like the design of the boat. Great use of space.
Negatives of the design, probably the only real negative, I mean, I guess you could say, well, it's not even a design, that's probably more of a build, but the teak decks, which is always something that can kind of worry you. On this particular boat, the teak decks are actually pretty good and they've been well maintained, so they're not causing any deck issues right now. But in terms of the actual design, the only thing would maybe be the head up in the forepeak, which can be a turn-off to some people. It really depends. I think it maybe is a little bit more overblown than it needs to be. There is a lot of other options. If it's really that rough at sea, you're probably going in a bucket overboard or something like that. But there is different layouts to this model, so they're not all in the V-berth there. I think actually later models, they moved them a little bit. So.
But this year and older, it's all up there. The other thing about this, it is a sloop rig, which is different than most of the boats that we are looking for. But it does have a storm tri-track, which is pretty cool.
A lot of these boats have been converted to have a baby stay put in, so they can be used as a cutter rig. There's a lot of things we like about this design, and a lot of reasons we like this era of boat design and the Bob Perry boat designs. They have, for us personally, the right mix of performance, comfortable under sail, sturdy, well-built boats that are going to be great to go anywhere. This is the right size for us as a couple. It's relatively small, I guess, in this day and age in terms of boats. Like, people are going bigger and bigger, probably maybe the more mid-40s. And this is so well designed that you probably don't need that. You could comfortably have 4 people on here, so you could have 2 couples and be quite comfortable sleeping on here. There's some good sea berths because your quarter berth is a great sea berth, as
both
is
these settees,
both the
the
settees.
Pullman wouldn't be bad either underway.
Yeah, which is because the Pullman is right here in front of the mast, right? So you're still pretty close to center line there, which would lose some of the yawing and stuff. 2 refrigerator or freezer spill over, and then that's also complemented by an angle on this boat, which is being probably used just as a deep freeze, would be my guess.
Yep.
There's a lot of space under the cockpit back there. There's a quarter berth on the starboard side, right?
Yep, so because the engine is underneath the table in the main salon here, that opens up the entire area, like under the stairs and under the cockpit, where traditionally most engines are. That's a lot of storage space.
Engine is really great to access. You can get to all 4 sides of this engine, but it's right under this dining table here. So you can pull off the panels and get to all 4 sides of it. The tabletop also comes off if you needed to pull the engine and get anything more serious done, which is really good as well.
Yep. And like I was saying, there's a separate quarter berth. It's its own little cabin in the back there, so that's really cool. You can have 2 people, 2 different sets of people on board. Everyone has their own private cabin.
This boat is really nice. It has a wind vane already on it there, a monitor wind vane. It has some really great quality Dodger that has been put onto this. Also some really good work.
Newer sails.
Yeah, all brand new sails. Carol has sails. A brand new water maker that's been put on here.
Has an awesome diesel stove, one of the Antarctic ones, so the really big.
These ones do about 16,000 BTUs. It should be more than enough to heat this relatively small space. On this boat, some of the things we would have to do if we took it would be...
One big thing that we do want to address, and that is the mast step.
Mast step is the one real concern that we have on this boat. So number one problem is it is really the hardest thing that we've found to access on the boat. There is no paneling that comes off.
There's no hatch boards that come off. It's a keel step mast, and there's no floor panels that come up around the masts at all.
So to get to the mast step, you've got like a 6-inch space here that you've got to get to from, 20, 30 centimeters forward of that mast step. So you're really in an awkward position and you can't get any real inspection done of it, let alone changing it for sure. So we're trying to figure out, it's probably going to have to be something that would be cut out to be able to get to it. And that mast step is really bad. We could break off a giant chunk.
And, a big piece of metal, corroded metal.
And that is not good. The mast itself looks pretty good. It's well painted. It probably will need new rigging.
At some point.
Yeah, it has a slight combination of swaged and mechanical fittings right now, which are the high mods, which are both arguably very large expenses, right? The rigging and the mast step are big concerns, but not as big a concern as a teak deck.
That's rotten or something like that. That's a much bigger project.
As you know, in the past, when we've looked at rotten teak decks, that could just end up into a massive project.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with this boat.
We actually first looked at her back in February or March and didn't purchase her. The price wasn't quite right for what we wanted and needed and the work to be done. The main concern we had with this boat is the standing rigging, which was original from 1985, and also some concerns with the mast step down in the cabin sole. But things have worked out now.
Why don't you cry, my baby?
We were so excited to have finally found the right boat for us and couldn't wait to get back on the water again. Like everyone, our plans had changed and adapted a lot this year. And while we had really enjoyed road tripping and land life, the ocean was calling to us and it was time to get back to sailing. Of course, before that could happen, we had to get to work and tackle that mast step and rigging project. But more on that next time.
Like a bird, raging fire.
Thanks so much for watching, and a huge thanks to our patron Adrift crew who support the making of these videos. If you enjoyed, please take a moment to give us a thumbs up and click the bell to subscribe. Until next time.
I was gonna bury my
Dig
head in the
again.
sand.
I want to
Yeah,
get a
I'm gonna
video of
bury
you
my head.
digging.
I'm gonna bury my head in the sand.